So hello everybody, how are you doing? Today we are driving the third special model of the new Golf 8, because after driving GTI and GTE, today you can already see it, we are having the GTD, which of course is the diesel version compared to the pure petrol engine, and of course also the hybrid one. This car now has 200 HP and also of course has the 7-speed DSG in it, and we want to now find out how fast it really goes on the Autobahn using that drift box to 100 in a kind of launch control way, and of course also later on 100 to 200, because I know that many of you were asking for this car and many of you are driving this car of the current, let's say, Golf 7 generation or Golf 7.5 generation, and are probably asking the question, should I switch for the new one or could I stay with the old one? So let's now first see how fast the car goes on the country road to 100 using the launch control. So let's do a second try, actually without the launch control, see if shifting is different. So something very interesting, you just seen that without the launch control we managed to do a 7.7 seconds even to 100, which is 3/10 faster at least than if we're using the launch control. And then of course get out onto the open Autobahn. You can already hear the sound, quite good for a diesel, specifically inside. So you have seen a lot of wheel spin, because that torque of course leads to, yeah, as said, wheel spin up to 100 kilometers per hour. But let's now see how fast the car goes from 100 to 200. Should be a bit better. So guys, pretty interesting times that we got. Honestly, I was expecting the GTD to be a bit closer to the GTE from a timing perspective, but nevertheless we have managed to do an 8.1 seconds to 100 on the drift box, where we actually have to keep in mind that this car is running on 19-inch wheels and also on 19-inch winter tires, which they're specifically equipped. Of course, that the car looks good for the photos, but still of course that harms a bit of that 100 time or 0 to 100 time that you could achieve, because we see that there's a lot of wheel spin, which is probably mainly due to the winter tires. We have almost 12 degrees today. Is not the ideal temperature for winter tires. Would have been probably quicker with summer tires. Nevertheless, you see there's a small gap, let's say, in the shift between first and second, which probably also loses some time, which is not affected by those tires. Next time that we managed to do do is a 20.6 seconds 100 to 200, which we achieved multiple times, so that seems to be pretty reliable. Which means, of course, that also on the Autobahn run, it is slower than a GTE and a GTI. But of course, if you look at those GTE videos closely, I had to mash the throttle all the time to keep the power coming. And of course, with this car, it has the power and the torque all of the time, which of course is very, very handy. Also, on the other hand, something that this car is very, very good at is, of course, keeping it in high gear at low revs and using that immense torque, because it has more torque than all of the other GTIs and GTEs that are out there, and that's something that you can really experience on the Autobahn. So let's say high revving, high performance is not really the use case for this car, but it's low consumption, high gear, and using that torque all the time. So if you're a fan of that, and if you're already owning a GTD from the previous generation, I think this is still a car that you could go with. It's probably not that much quicker than the one that you own from the previous generation, but it has, of course, the nicer interior, the more quality, and the newer infotainment system in it. At least this is my personal opinion. I think the Golf 8 overall is a good car in terms of quality, and also step up in terms of technology, of course. And therefore you should also get to the dealership or check out some of those very, very attractive leasing offers which we had lately. Yes, they are even more attractive for a GTE, because then you can get more subsidy from the government because it's a hybrid version. But nevertheless, I think even for a GTI and GTD, those numbers are really interesting, and you should check them out, because if you get, let's say, a car like this for 200 to 300 euros per month, I think that's very interesting, and you're getting a lot of, let's say, everyday comfort, long distance travel capability, etc. So nevertheless, I think we will have some more fun with the car on the country road. Please also tune in for the stuff that we upload on Instagram, because there you get all the nice photos from the outside of this car, and also some very nice video reels. And I hope you also enjoy the content and the car as much as we did.